Folks, I got a list for you in this video of the best stocks to buy now for my portfolio, possibly yours. I'm going to go over these. And yes, I think they give me the same kind of possible gains that I could get with my crypto, my XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, in these stocks. And no, they're not cryptos. Welcome back. I'm Stock Mo, and we are going to discuss one of the opportunities I think is just glaring us in the face. And it's not even, some people are like, oh, it's like a meme, it's this, it's that. I don't think so. I think you're going to see billions and billions of dollars from the government running towards these projects because it's major. It has now been pushed front and center, and it could change everything. So we're going to talk about these best stocks to buy now. Are they right for our portfolios? Are we going to see tons of profit taken, or is this a game changer on a whole nother level? And you might be saying, what are you talking about? All right. And so if you guys have been living under a rock, you have not heard then about China and the US trade negotiation, the limitation of rare earth materials. Rare earth is where it's at. And folks, I went ahead and made a list of rare earth element companies, blah, blah, blah. And you can see them all here. MP Materials, US Rare Earth Inc., Criticals Metals, just tons of them, right? Texas Mineral Resources. You guys see all these? Tons and tons of rare earth companies. So, and these are the stocks. So I just looked them up, just quick Google. Now, you might say, what's the big deal? Well, the government, as I just said, is out there looking to figure out how they can wean themselves off China, because China, some reports are putting out there, make up 90% of the rare earth elements in the world that goes out for manufacturing. And if they turn that faucet off, we are going to be hurting. And that's one thing I think countries around the world now realize, that it's going to take years for them to get off of that in terms of the needs, and they're going to have to set up other countries. And one of the things you see, and you can see this, the U.S. is already trying to make deals. Australia could be rare earths alternative to China for the U.S. And of course, Trump, Australian Prime Minister, signed an $8 billion critical minerals deal to counter China. And of course, you got rare earth companies in the U.S. absolutely skyrocketing. And I will say this, the U.S. government, through the Department of Defense, has provided significant funding to several companies. These are the ones, when you see the government putting money in, and I'm not necessarily saying, hey, that's going to be a great thing. MP Materials, I believe it's Linus Rare Earths, USA Rare Earth. I own this one. All right. And as you go down, there's going to be tons and tons of, and I know Cleveland Cliffs down here got a ton. The major U.S. steelmaker pivoted to rare earth minerals in 2025. Michigan and Minnesota for development. They're getting love. So if you come down here and you start looking at these and you understand all the different ones there are, they're going to start getting some love. U.S. spending on critical minerals surges to almost $3 billion this year from what, 500 million last year? Incredible increase, because now, instead of having China do all that critical minerals and just buying it from them, they are now using that as part of the trade negotiations. And the U.S. is stuck in a corner. And so they need to make sure that isn't something that affects them forever. So that moves us into these stocks. And you might say, Mo, why do I care? Well, one, you can see the spending's just beginning. I don't think this is a one-off. This is not a one-off situation. They are going to continue to invest money into the critical minerals and these companies that are out there working on them. Move that to one of the ones, as you guys can see this, it all kind of broke down over the last few weeks, right? Well, where were we? All right, as you can see, you're down here, $9 a share for USAR. Just a couple weeks ago. Skyrockets to 40-something dollars. You know, you're looking at 5 times your money. But now you're at that point where you're going to have profit taking. So you get all the way up here, and this is USAR, USA Rare Earth. I had this one, sold half of it, locked it in, keep the rest, keep the other half and let it run. We got down to the 13. It's normally where you will get a recovery. It opened the next day. That's kind of the, hey, we're going to start buying. If you're buying there at 27, you're looking good, and it does what we expect. It moves back above the 13. So the question becomes, are we going to see more running? Is it ready to pop? Look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Bollinger Bands broken, because that's how big this is. I like this stock. It made it as one of the best stocks to buy now in my portfolio, so I did. I did just that. I bought it. That moves us over to, how about that Cleveland? I want to look that up. Cleveland Cliffs. I haven't looked this up yet. Let's look it up right now. So, Cleveland Cliffs. You guys know I owned this one in the past. Look what just happened. Hey, look, we're down. We come back down to 13 here. We're at $13 a share. Boom, $16 a share. You think that's it? Now that they're getting into the rare earths minerals, you think that's as far as we're going to go? You don't think we're going to see lots of money moving into that and a possible run? I don't know. I'm going to be blunt. Is it overbought? Yes. It was overbought right here, too, at 14. Now it's up another 10%. In other words, if the sector does what I think it's going to do for the rare earth materials, manufacturing, processing, all of that, in that whole supply chain, the whole part of this, some of these companies, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, could look drastically different in terms of their stock price. With all that money flowing in, you could see a lot of attention starting to be paid to these companies, these rare earth companies. So this is one that just started getting love, MP. Or not MP, Cleveland Cliffs. We go to MP. Let's look at MP, because that's another one that you had a lot of people paying attention to. And I think I put up the wrong one there, but let me see here. MP, let's pull up New York Stock Exchange. Right there we go. So MP, and I always think like Cleveland Cliffs, just starting to get a little bit of notification here in that talk. You're seeing it run, breaking the Bollinger Band 3 times. No way it can go from 16, around here, 17, 18, 19, where are we at? 20, 26? Where are we down here? 18. 2 weeks later, 38. It's no way. Down to the 13 we go. 30. And this is with the rare earths. Where do we go from 30? All the way up to 82. No way. Back down to the 50. We're back down to 60. No way we're going higher. 100. 100, folks. In other words, the right companies get the right love. You can see some drastic moves. That moves me into, let's look at something for these three. Let's go ahead and let's look something up. I haven't done this. I'm doing this with you right here. Let's just look it up together. So if we come in here and we say, how big are they? Like MP, you saw MP running. Like that's some really good runs. That is a $14 billion company. Not overly huge. You know, and you could say, well, it's a big company. It's $14 billion, Mo. I know, but if you look at companies like Apple, $3 trillion. Almost $4 trillion. That's, if you knocked off the value of MP, you're taking this 9 down to a 7, not even. It's down to maybe an 8 plus the remainder after. It's still that big. So some of these companies, so we see that. Let's go back and take a look at MP again, the size of MP. Does it make it a best stock to buy now? It's $14 billion right now. So I want to look at the value of all these companies. USAR, I'll look up this one because I'm in this one right here. There's only $3 billion. It's 1/4 the size of MP. All right, so you look up the contracts, how much money are they getting on the contract deals, how much money is being invested into them. Interesting. All right, so you got that USAR. You got MP out there. What other one were we looking at there? We had a couple of them, right? Some of the rare earth companies. Yeah, MP. Let's go down there. Cleveland Cliffs. I want to look that one up. Cleveland Cliffs. Let's look that one up. Cleveland. There it is. So I think this is. You're seeing love there. 8 billion. That's only 8. Okay. So I like these three. Cleveland Cliffs. I like USAR. USA. Rare Earth. And MP Materials. I like those 3 plays. I'm looking to do something in my Discord with these very, very soon, most likely today. If you're not in my Discord, you guys can join. First link down below. Membership. Boom. I'll be live trading today as well. Once you do that, get over there. Code NEW, NEW, save you 50% off your tier. You got to be the earner to watch. So it's like a little over $1 a day for your first month. You can also do the 25% off an annual pass. But that's what you can do to get in there. Code NEW at checkout. All right, folks, that's the update. I like what I'm seeing. I think some of these are the best stocks to buy now. Let me know what you think. And especially about the reasoning. I think you're going to see a lot more spending from the government going in that, especially after the shutdown. So we will see. I appreciate you stopping by. I will see you in the Discord. Be sure to like and subscribe. Now let's get out there and make some money.